In this video I'll be recapping Look Who's Back, a German satirical comedy film. Hello, and welcome to Real Mystery Recap. Warning, before we begin, spoilers follow. The film begins with an image of Adolf Hitler lying on the ground in a park, looking confused and disoriented. He is perplexed as to why there are no enemy planes in the skies as usual. Soon after, an orange plastic ball starts bouncing towards him. He then awakens to discover 3 children approaching him. He requests directions to the main street, but the boys are interrupted by a MyTV television reporter named Fabian Sawatzki. Fabian is apparently filming a news piece with the kids in which Hitler can be seen on the far side of the screen. Following that, Hitler dons his soldier's cap and continues on his way, telling himself that he must reach the Führer bunker. On his way to the Brandenburg Gate, he views current events and objects through the lens of World War II. Meanwhile, everyone he meets believes he is a Hitler impersonator. When he asks a man for directions to the Reich Chancellery, the man instead wants to take a picture with him. Not only that, but Hitler appears to be upset by the people around him who are constantly photographing him. He walks away and meets a young woman on her phone who speaks German. When Hitler inquires about the current date, the woman becomes afraid and sprays a chemical into his eyes, impairing his eyesight. He then stumbles to a neighboring newspaper kiosk and takes up a newspaper, only to be surprised by the date, the 3rd of October 2014. As a result, he becomes dizzy and eventually faints. In another meeting, MyTV television chief Karner compliments Christoph Sensenbrink for his accomplishments as deputy director. However, Karner announces the appointment of another executive, Katja Bellini, as the new managing director, which both surprises and dissatisfies Christoph. Unable to change the boss' decision, he returns to his office and vents his rage by dismissing Fabian for no reason. Fabian is thrown out of the building by the guards, despite his efforts to persuade his employer. He watches the video he made earlier this afternoon depressedly at night. His mother approaches him and attempts to soothe him. After observing Hitler in the backdrop, she asks him to halt the video at one point. As a result, Fabian begins looking for him in the hopes of regaining his job. Meanwhile, Hitler awakens at the kiosk and inquires about the date with the proprietor. Confounded, Hitler believes the owner kidnapped him as a ruse by the enemy's secret services. The owner, mistaking him for an actor, asks him again if he is making a documentary film. Later, Hitler reads a Turkish newspaper and is astounded to learn of the Turks' presence in Berlin. He discovers a drastically different nation than the one he left after reading more about modern Germany and learns that no one agreed to him. Hitler laments the fact that Poland still exists on formerly German territory and claims that the war was a waste of time. As a result, he believes that fate has resurrected him for a cause and pledges to carry on his mission. The next morning, the owner requests that Hitler clean his clothing because they are filthy. He then goes to a laundromat, but the operator refuses to accept his garments. Fortunately, the second laundry facility accepts his garments and even lends Hitler some clothing. When Hitler returns to the kiosk, he runs into Fabian, who has tracked him down. Fabian, taken by Hitler's appearance, offers to him that he travel across modern Germany and film him for YouTube. Hitler agrees, and Fabian borrows money and a car from his mother before the two set off together. The two end up in a motel that night, where Hitler is astounded to discover a modern television. Seeing it as a propaganda vehicle, he decides to discuss politics while they are creating their film. Fabian films Hitler talking with regular Germans and promises to address their problems with immigrants and guest workers as he travels from the North Sea coast to Bavaria. The two end up in a farm one day where Hitler is bitten by a dog. As a result, he becomes enraged and shoots the dog with a concealed weapon. Fabian is enraged and seizes the gun, but Hitler dismisses him as a coward and swears to turn him into a man. They eventually run out of money, so Fabian contacts Christoph for assistance. Unfortunately, Christoph soon gets off the phone, signaling that he does not wish to assist them in any way. Simultaneously, Hitler poses another issue by destroying the car's headlights. They soon start making money by sketching passers-by in front of them. They continue their adventure after saving enough money and meet numerous individuals from all around Germany. Surprisingly, many individuals like Hitler, and their films receive over 1 million views. As a result, the two return to Berlin, where Fabian proposes Hitler and his program concept to the MyTV station executives. Hitler ultimately meets Bellini and asks her to help him preserve Germany, but Bellini instead plans to exploit Hitler in one of MyTV's comedy. Fabian, on the other hand, threatens Christoph with taking Hitler away if he does not get his job back. When Christoph hears this, he hires him as a kitchen boy. Later, Hitler is assigned a workstation in the TV studio, and Christoph instructs his aide Krommeyer to teach Hitler about computers and the internet. Hitler unintentionally becomes a hit with his previous aspirations for an ethnically homogeneous Nazi state during the live comedy act. As a result, Bellini directs Christoph to broadcast Hitler in all of their television shows. As his comic career grows, Hitler takes interviews on numerous TV shows, stating that his goal is to make Germany great again. He also exploits his popularity to meet with various persons and party figures, gradually transforming Germany's government structure. He and Fabian visit the NPD headquarters in Berlin one day, where he challenges the federal chairman of the NPD about what has been accomplished thus far. He then disparages the federal chairman, claiming that they have squandered enough time, and that each of their remarks sets the movement back decades. Meanwhile, the cops and the district attorney arrive at the TV studio. They told Bellini that they have come to file a complaint about an alleged hate crime. Fortunately, the district attorney says they will be able to continue airing the episodes. Bellini responds by speaking alone with Hitler and asking him to tell her about his origins. However, every response he offers is interpreted as a joke by her. At the same time, Kromeyer hands Christoph a note claiming that the dog that Hitler shot earlier during filming has been paid. As a result, he discovers the raw tape of Hitler shooting the dog. In another live TV event, an envious Christoph purposefully broadcasts the clip, which the audience criticizes. This also ends Hitler's, Fabian's, and Bellini's promising careers, and results in Christoph's appointment to station head. Not long after that, Fabian and Hitler return to Fabian's mother's house. As time passes, Hitler begins writing a book titled Look Who's Back about his new existence in the 21st century. The autobiography quickly becomes a bestseller. Following this, Fabian intends to adapt the novel into a film with the assistance of Bellini. MyTV executives convene 3 months later to address the company's significant loss. Knowing this, Christoph becomes agitated and reprimands several of the workers. Christoph is intrigued when one of the staff members considers rehiring Hitler. Just then, he arrives on the set and informs Fabian that he would increase their budget by $1 million if MyTV broadcasts their future film. Following that, Fabian and Hitler visit Kromeyer's home, where Kromeyer's grandmother recognizes Hitler and accuses him of gassing people to death. She is furious and orders him to leave the house immediately. On the way, Hitler expresses his dismay at learning that Kromeyer is Jewish. He then insults and demeans Jews, referring to them as less than human. Fabian is taken aback by this and gets dissatisfied with him. Back in the studio, Fabian asks Hitler to relive his journey to this year. He asks Hitler what happened before the plastic ball landed on him, but Hitler has no memory of anything. He comes out of the set after a night of filming and is attacked by 2 neo-Nazis who feel he is a fake impersonator mocking their ideas. He subsequently finds himself in the hospital, where he encounters Bellini. She informs him that the news of his beating has sparked sympathy, and he regains favor with the German people. While Hitler is recovering, Sawatsky goes through his old film and notices a ball of energy in the backdrop before Hitler appears. He promptly returns to the location and finds charred leaves. Aside from that, he discovers a board describing the historical location of Führer Bunker. He understands, with horror, that the Hitler he met was the genuine thing all along. He then hurries to the hospital to confront Hitler, only to be met by Bellini, who informs him that Hitler is at the movie studio. Fabian tries to persuade Bellini that Hitler is real, but she refuses. As a result, he devastates the hospital room before fleeing, pursued by 2 hospital orderlies. Fabian arrives at the movie studio a few moments later and promptly points a gun at Hitler, accusing him of deceiving people with his propaganda. Hitler responds calmly, "I was elected by the German people in 1933. Fabian then drags Hitler to the roof, holding a gun to his head. He then surrounds Hitler and proclaims him a monster. Hitler responds that if he is a monster, so are all those who voted for him. Enraged, Fabian shoots Hitler in the face and watches him fall to his apparent death from the roof. Hitler emerges behind him, declaring that he cannot be killed since he is a part of every German. After a while, Bellini orders a cut, and everyone applauds the successful shoot. This entire scene is revealed to be a part of the film, and Fabian is a body double wearing a silicone mask. The actual Fabian, on the other hand, has been sent to a psychiatric hospital following his prior outburst that Hitler is still alive. After the filming is completed, Hitler and Bellini are busy signing autographs and conducting interviews about their renowned film. At the time, Hitler believes he is on the verge of a political comeback because he is more popular than ever. Furthermore, German nationalists offer Hitler hope that Germany is getting ready for his return to power. The film concludes with Hitler's voiceover, "I can work with this," as he and Bellini ride in the backseat of a car, surrounded by pictures of actual nationalist demonstrations.